So we're here at session 29, July 29th, 2026. And what we're in the middle of is a discussion between Meir and Lippmann. Lippmann's the Shochet and the Malamed, as they're walking towards Meir's house. A discussion between these two young men. Tofar was nehmen sich Menschen dazu, hat Lippmann gewollt wissen. So, why do people take themselves to, and they're talking about land work, agricultural work. He's asking Meir the question, why do people turn to this kind of profession? Die Motiven seien verschiedene, hat Meir gesagt. The motives are different. There are all different kinds of motivations, Meir said. Andere gucken auf der wie auf a Geschäft. Some look at this like a business. Gelingt as is good. If you're successful, it's very good. Nicht sucht man etwas anderes zu tun. And if it's not successful, then you look for something different to do. Wie in andere Geschäften haben einige Menschen euch in Erdarbeit gehabt der Erfolg. Like in other kinds of work, people in land work had success. Ich hab Meir geschmeichelt. I, Meir, smiled. Bin geworden a farmer. Machmus das Krämerleben hat mir nicht befriedigt. I became a farmer because the work, the salesman, the storekeeper work didn't satisfy me. Es hat mir nicht gegeben die inwenigste Ruhe. It didn't give me the inner peacefulness. Efter der Fall, weil sagt man mir, es fällt mir der Husch for business. Perhaps the reason they tell me that the reason is because I lack the feeling, the sense for business. Und der Willen anzusammeln, Gitter, reich zu werden. I didn't have the sense of business, and I didn't have the desire to gather property, to become rich. So they're walking along. Sie seien schon gewesen nicht weit von Haus. Now they're not far from the house. Sie seien gegangen zwischen a Reihe Bäume von einer Seite und a Feld Beblach von der zweiten. So they're going on between, as they're walking, they're going between a row of trees on one side and a field of beblach. I always think beblach are beans. Is that it? Beans?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beans on the other side. Der Sprotzungen von die Beblach haben sich gewickelt heucher Steckens, the shoots, the green shoots of the beans were winding around high sticks, wo seinen gestanden wie a blätterloser Wälder über den ganzen Schettach. So this, all these shoots on the sticks stood like blätterlose Wälder, like a leafy field over the whole area.
No, like
Is that correct?
No leaves. Naked of
Say again?
Leafless.
Say again?
No leaves.
No leaves?
No.
Yeah, leafless. Leafless.
Oh, leafless. It's a leafless. A leafless. Thank you. Thank you. Over the whole area. Zwei große dänische Hint seien sie angelaufen an Kegen. Two big Danish dogs. I don't know anything about dogs. What is a Danish dog?
Big
Is that
dog.
something? Say again, big dogs?
Yes.
Big dogs. Came up to them. Gesprungen auf Meeren. They sprang, they jumped onto Meir. Auf den Pferd, also on the horse. Und gelost Herren sehr Zufriedenheit mit dem Schochet. And we heard their dissatisfaction with the Shochet, Lippmann. Meir hat sie abgetrieben. Meir drove them away. Lippmann hat gesagt, Lippmann said, ich hab Meure verhint. I'm afraid of dogs. Nicht bewusst sinnig. Now, I'm afraid of dogs. Is that like not consciously or not known?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
Not understood.
Subconsciously, I think.
Subconsciously.
Not
Although then he goes,
subconsciously.
And niet bewustzijn,
not
consciously, not consciously.
Not subconsciously. No, because the reason is very clear. Die dosige Meure is bei mir verblieben von meine Kinderjugend. This particular fear remains with me from my childhood, years. In Schreines mit uns haben gewohnt a paar Polish families. We lived in a neighborhood with some Polish families. Welche haben gehad einige Beiser Hint that had some very mean dogs. Und jeden Mal, wenn ich vorbeigehen, pflegen sie anfallen auf mir. And every time that I went by, they fell on me. They jumped on me. So it's not subconscious. It's very real why he has this fear.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Ich pfleg schreien und laufen zu schrocken. I would scream and run a frightened one. Und der Sohn von einem von den Schreinen pflegt stehen und lachen. And one of the son of one of these neighbors would stand and laugh. Ich kann bestimmt offen sich nicht befreien von dem dosigen Schreck. I cannot free myself of this fear. Rachel, is it okay if I read a little bit more before you need to go?
You read as much as you want.
No, but I know that you have to leave. Okay, I'll just read a little bit more because I know you have to go tonight for midnight. In Huis is gewesen kiel und still. In the house, it was cool and quiet. Rein und zugeräumt. Clean and, I guess, tidy, neat. Everything is in order. Es hat gehad wenig Möbel. There was very little furniture. A Tisch, a sofa, einige Stühlen, a Schrank mit Bücher. There was a table, a sofa, some stools, a bookcase with books, Fotografies und Bilder seien gehangen auf die Tapsiterwand. And photographs and pictures hung on the wallpapered walls. Very balabatisch, yeah? Die Dielen poliert und glanzig. The floors were polished and glistening, would you say? No, not glistening, shiny, shiny,
Shiny.
shiny, shiny. Geblimter Vorhangen auf der Fenster and flowered curtains on the windows. Lippmann hat gewusst wegen Mayers Liebe mit der, die Buschmannkopf hat es bezeichnet, Bohreschickse. Or is it Bohreschickse? Lippmann knew about Mayer's love affair with the one whom the Bushmanko people had labeled as the Borashik, so the Bora non-Jewish Gentile woman. Hat geguckt auf der wie jeder Jid. He looked on this the way every Jew looked on it. Wenn es handelt sich wegen gemischte Chasanas. He looked at this like all the Jews looked when you're dealing with mixed marriages. Efter nicht mitten streng orthodoxen Cook, maybe not with the most strict Orthodox outlook, aber doch unzufrieden, but certainly not satisfied, not pleased. Hat Meir gefragt. He asked Meir, wer geht Achtung auf den Haus? Who's attending to the house? Because he sees the house is very well attended to. Wer geht zu euer Essen? Who's preparing your food? Dienen und Diensten, hat Meir gesucht. Servants, manservants and female servants, Meir said. Ihr seht doch, ich bin nicht ausgemogert und der Haus ist rein. You can see, I'm not undernourished, emaciated, and the house is clean. Rachel, please, now.
Okay. Sie haben sich gesetzt. They seated themselves. Mehr hat Lippmann gefragt. Wollt ihr trinken ein Glas Tee oder öfter etwas stärker, ein Bier zum Beispiel? Lippmann, Mehr asked Lippmann, will you drink a cup of tea? Or perhaps something stronger, like beer, for instance? Der stärkste Getränk, was ich mag gebräuchen, hat Lippmann gesagt, ist ein starke Glas Tee. The strongest drink that I need, that I am allowed to need, Lippmann said, is a strong cup of tea.
What does that mean that he's, excuse me, what does it mean this is the strongest that he's allowed to need?
Because maybe he has dietary limitations, maybe he's not well.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe he's
okay.
not allowed to drink alcohol, so all he can drink is tea. Yeah. That's how I understand it. Mehr hat herangerufen einen jungen Schwarzen und gebeten bringen 2 Gläser Tee. Mehr called in a young black person and asked to bring 2 cups of tea. Hat herausgenommen von I lost it. Marsha, you went. Oh, here, okay. Hat herausgenommen von einem Almer a Kuchen, a paar Teller, und zerpenenzt dem Kuchen. Ihr mögt es essen, hat gesagt. Frau Wassermann hat es gebacken. So he took out of a closet a cake, a few a few dishes, and he divided up the cake. This you are allowed to eat, he said. Mrs. Wasserman baked it. Wie gefindt ihr das Leben in Buschmann-Kopp, hat Meir gefragt. Interessant. How do you find life in Buschmann-Kopp? Meir asked. Interesting? Es ist stark nicht interessant, hat Liebmann gesagt. It's very not interesting, said Liebmann. Aber in derselben Zeit ist es interessant zu sehen, wie das Städtel wächst und entwickelt sich. But at the same time, it is interesting to see how the town is growing and developing. Die jüdische Bevölkerung mehrt sich euch. The Yiddish population also the Yiddish population is growing also. Das hoffe ich, wird bringen mehr Kinder fahren Cheder, was ich will einordnen. This, I hope, will bring more children to the Cheder that I am going to arrange, to handle. Ihr seid gewiss zufrieden mit eurer Arbeit und Leben? Hat Meir gefragt. You are certainly happy with your work and your life? Meir asked. Hat aber stark keuschel gewesen, als ist nicht zufrieden, but he very much suspected that he wasn't happy. Liebman hat sich vertracht. Liebman was thinking to himself, sie soll sagen, was es ist auf und Zung oder nicht. Should he say what's on his tongue, what he really wants to say or not? Zum Sof hat gesagt. At the end he said, ich will euch sagen dem Emes, ich bin nicht stark zufrieden. At the end he said, I will tell you the truth, I am not very happy. Mach was, ich seh nicht kein Zukunft für mir als Melamed, oder euch will Ruf des Lehrers und euch nicht als Schochet. I am not happy because I don't see a future for me as a teacher, or if you wish, call it a lehrer. That's another word for melamed, teacher. Actually, melamed is Hebrew and a lehrer is Yiddish. Oh, okay. And also, I don't see a future for me here as a shochet, as a ritual slaughterer. Emes, das Städtel wächst. Und mit mehr Kinder im Cheder und mehr jüdische Families, welche wollen davon koscher Fleisch, wird mein Schires steigen. Okay. The truth is that Masha, I cannot. When you move that, I cannot. The truth is. Yeah, the truth is that the town is growing, and with more children in Cheder and more Jewish families that will need kosher meat, my wages will grow. Aber erstens wird es nehmen lang Zeit, zweitens, wie hoch kann es steigen? But first of all, it will take a long time for it to happen. And secondly, how high can it grow? Ich will wollen sich einordnen auf ein Ort, Kassene haben. I would like to settle down somewhere and to get married. Ich habe sich gehodert in ein reiches Haus, bin gewohnt zu leben mehr weniger bequem. I grew up in a rich house and I am used to live more or less comfortably. Wenn ich komme in Stadt und guck sich zu, wie die Gaboim und Balabatim von die Schulen und Talmud Teures leben sich bei Archava und die Lehrer und die Schochtim, mit Steins gesagt, leben euch, der weckt sich bei mir, die nicht kein kenne. So, when I come to town and I look to see how the Gaboim, that's the. Do you say for Gabbai in English? Can you say sexton?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No,
No.
no.
Aha.
The Gabbai
Yeah. How do you
is
say Gabbai
is
in English? Gabbai.
it's one of the leaders of the community, one of the committee members of the
Oh, okay,
community. I
okay,
would say.
okay, okay. When ich komme in Stadt, when I see how the leaders of the community and the Balabatim, like
well-to-do people, the
well-to-do
well-to-do people.
the board of the synagogue, the leaders of the congregation, of the congregations, and the schools, how they live comfortably, and the teachers and the shochtim, the ritual slaughterers, to say the least.
No.
They
Mishteins gesucht. Mishteins gesucht. That's a very
Mishten's, I don't remember what Mishten's is.
okay. It comes from like you know he's going to say something that's not so pleasant. So he's going to say dem Stein sei es gesucht. A stone is. I'm not saying this. I'm not saying this. May it be said about a stone.
Okay,
I'm not
thank you.
saying this.
Okay,
Mm.
okay,
No,
okay.
it's Mishtens gesagt is alas.
Yeah,
Alas.
it doesn't connect for me. I don't know.
I think Mishteins gesagt is short for nicht auf uns gesagt.
Yeah,
Lo
okay.
aleinu.
Like I am not. We're not right. We're not saying this.
It's the place where it is. It doesn't connect for me with the sentence, except for what Chaya said.
Perhaps
all right.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah.
perhaps.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. They live or when I see how the other people, the teachers and the slaughterers, how they live, der weckt sich bei mir something stirs up in me, and then he says "nit ken kine," which means I am jealous. Der weckt sich bei mir, and then I am jealous, but then he doesn't say I'm jealous. I don't really feel jealous. That's how I understand it. Marsha, can you go up?
Yes, I'm not jealous.
Yeah. No, Frage. No, it's only a question.
Right.
Bin ich denn ein ärgerer Mensch für jene Gaboim und katholische Astoni? Am I, here's a question. Am I a worse person than all those leaders? I don't have it again. Yeah,
Okay, stop right
it's
there.
okay. It's okay, Marsha. Don't move. Am I a worse a person than all these leaders of the community? Auch mein Professie und Meloche gibt mir nicht die Möglichkeit zu führen am mehr bequemeren Leben. Für was soll ich nicht suchen an andere Parnasse? if my profession or my occupation is not giving me the ability to have a more comfortable life, why shouldn't I look for another livelihood, another way to make a living? Business, Business, for instance. Ich bin nicht sicher, ich bin geschäftfähig, aber man kann nicht wissen, dem Plan von einer Speis, bis man versucht es nicht. I'm not sure whether I am talented for business, but you cannot know the taste of a food unless you taste it first. Meir hat sich zugehört, verinteressiert. Meir was listening, interested. Dort sitzt der Mensch, wo sucht der Weg, ein Ziel, ein Tachlis im Leben. Here is a person that is looking for a path, a goal. Again, a Tachlis is again a goal in his life. Eine von die Hauptzielen seine ist Chassanehoen. One of his main goals is to get married. Zu lieb dem will sich einordnen bequemer. Therefore, he wants to settle down in a comfortable way. Meir hat geguckt auf Liebmanen, geforscht sein Ponym, ein ernster Ponym, was vermocht Charakter. Meir was looking at Liebman. He was looking at his face, a serious face that has character. Hat sich vertracht. He was thinking. A Gedanke hat a Blitz getan bei ihm in Kopf. An idea dawned on him. Und ein Schmeichel hat sich bewiesen auf seine Lippen, and a smile showed on his lips. Werner Schatchen, to become a matchmaker. Hat gesagt zu Liebmanen, hat der Mond Chassene oben, mag sich nehmen die Chutzpe und fragen, sie hat ergens a Geliebte? You mentioned to get married. So may I have the audacity to ask whether you have somewhere a sweetheart? Liebman hat gelacht auf den Kohl. Liebman was laughing loudly. Mein Geliebte wird sein die Mädel, mit welcher ich will chassen haben. My sweetheart will be that girl with whom I will get married. In andere Wörter, hat Meir bemerkt, ihr wird fassen haben mit der Mädel, welche wird euch helfen, sich einzuordnen, bequem im Leben. In other words, Meir commented, you will marry that girl that will help you to settle down comfortably in life. Liebman felt ashamed. Ich verstehe mir verkehrt. You are understanding me the wrong way. Ich mein nicht verkaufen sich für Geld. Nicht mehr, mir fällt noch derweil jene Gefühl von Liebe, über welchen es singen die Dichter. Ich will sich davon werden zu erschaffen. I am not going to sell myself for money. I still haven't lost the feeling of love that the poets are singing about, writing about, or singing about. I will have to approach a matchmaker. Well, so davon wenn so schatten, I will have to approach a matchmaker. Ihr werdet mir entschuldigen für die Frage, was ich will euch fragen. You'll excuse me for the question that I want to ask you. Was denkt ihr? Wollt Lea Horowitz können sein die Mädel, welche ihr wollt lieben, noch der Hasene? Could Lea Horowitz be the girl that you would love after the wedding? Okay, somebody else take over. Thank you.
I think it's my
Well.
turn. Auf dem Weg zurück hat Lippmann überlegt in Gedanken, als was Meir hat mit ihm gerät. On the way back, Lippmann thought about everything that Meir had said to him. Hat gerät mit ihm. Oh, now it moved and I can't find the place.
Moine.
Here it is.
Okay, stop. Hat gerät mit ihm, offene und klare diburim. He had spoken with him openly and clearly. What is diburim?
Talk.
Speech.
Talk.
Okay.
Talk. Mm-hmm.
Leah hat ihm gesagt, ist einzige, sie ist a voile Mädel. Leah, he had told him, was a unique girl. A voile. What is voile?
Nice.
She's
Nice.
a nice
Girl, a good girl. What
She's
what is ein insecure? It doesn't have that she's the only child.
No,
It's not
no,
that?
a unique.
A unique. Okay.
No,
Very
I
good.
think it
She's
means-
a unique young woman.
Ein Einziger is the only child.
Yeah.
No,
It's
maybe
an only
Yeah,
child.
she
one
is.
and only.
okay. She's a good girl. Hogem. Etwas mummelt von ihrer
Tumult.
Tumult von ihrer Überlebungen und verschiedene Ideologies. I'm missing too many words to do the whole sentence, but it's something about how she will relate to his ideologies. Could somebody help with that
No.
sentence,
The
please?
tumult. She's a little confused. She's a
Confused.
tumult from her from her life and all of the different ideologies.
Yeah.
She came from the other side, she saw the pogromim and the revolution, and so she's a little confused by all of this, but she's a good girl.
Yeah, she's
And
a
she's
nice girl. She's a nice girl. Hagam, even though
Even
the
though.
Hagam is even though it was to tune a little bit confused.
Yeah, but ein Sikher, I just want to go back to that for a minute. It's that she's unique. She's unique. It's not that she's the only child.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Sie ist a Brie in Heus.
Beria.
What is a
It is
Beria?
a Beria. Hmm.
What is
Eh,
Beria?
Beria is a good housekeeper.
It's not.
Talented,
The reason-
skillful.
She's
The
good
reason
at-
you don't know that, Elk, is because today it's not considered a compliment to be a barrier. That's why. That's why it's no longer a compliment as it was. It was to be called a
Today,
barrier was something.
today you hire a
Today
cleaning
it's
girl.
no. Today
Yeah.
you have to be a careerist.
So she's good at managing a house. Liebmann wird gewiss können ihre Kirven in seine Drochim. He Liebman I'm sorry, I'm not translating very well today. Can somebody help with gewiss können ihre Kirven in seine Drochim?
Direct her in his ways. He could steer her.
Ah, okay, thank you.
She's
Chassene
valuable.
Chassene haben mit Lehen, hat ihm gesagt, meint lesen für a gewisser Zeit. To get married to Leah, he had said to him, means lesen für a gewisser Zeit. Lesen, what is lesen?
To
Reduce.
solve.
A größeren Teil von seine Problemen. So
Lesen
this
means to solve.
so it would
It will
be
solve these problems.
it would be a big a big way of solving his problems. Material und geistig, his material problems and his spiritual problems. Meir hat sich geeilt zu vereinfachen a Frage. Meir had tried to answer a question, was Liebman hat ihm gewollt stellen, which Liebman had wanted to ask him. Was hat Meir nicht ausgenutzt die Gelegenheit durch Lehen zu lesen a Teil von seinen Problemen? Why hadn't Meir tried to solve his problems with Leah?
Why hadn't he used the opportunity?
To take the opportunity of solving his problems by being with Leah? Welche Meir hat es gewiss, which Meir had known. Hat ihm aber verhabt dem Weg, but he had closed off his way, verhabt. A Mädel von Gefällen und sein zugepasst für einem, aber nicht für den zweiten. A woman can be just right for one person, but not for another. Hat gesagt, he said. Und Take hat Liebmann getracht, Leah is nicht im Ganzen unwissend, is nicht kein Narr. And Liebman thought Leah is not completely knowledgeable, perhaps we could say, but she's not a fool. Tomer is sie nicht azoi schein und unlockendig wie andere Mädlich. Also, she's not as beautiful. And what is unlockendig?
Attractive.
She's not as beautiful and attractive as some other young women. Wie Linda, as Linda, for example. No, das ist doch nicht alles. Well, this is not the whole story. Was es fordert sich von einer Freu. This is not the whole reason that you would choose a woman. Der Eker is doch Charakter. The main thing is character. Gemeinsame Interessen. What is gemeinsame?
Common.
Common.
Shared.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Shared.
Common or shared.
Okay. I'm going to pass the buck now to Chava. Chaya. Chaya.
I think I can do only a little bit, okay? But you need to raise a little bit, okay? Kann nicht in dem Moment bestimmen, wo und was wäre seine und Leas Interessen. At the moment he cannot make up his mind how and what are his and Leas interests fallen sich zusammen if their interests go together. Aber Meir is gerecht, but Meir is right. Liebmann wird schon sorgen, als Wegen im Leben soll nicht laufen weit eins von das andere. He, Liebmann, will make sure that their ways in life shouldn't be far one from another, should be together, like not far from one another. Sein Vater ist euch gewesen, der Leiter und Tongeber in their Haus. His father was also the master and the one who gave the tone in their home. Nicht mehr die Hauptfrage. And the main question is, wird Lea sich einstimmig? Will Lea agree? Und die Eltern ihre, wenn sie seien zufrieden, zu nehmen an Orm scheuchet melamed faranedem? And her parents, will they be happy or agree to take a poor scheuchet melamed as a son-in-law? Emes. Horowitz juckt sich nicht mistammen noch Geld. True, Horowitz is not probably after the money, aber wollt gewiss, kriegen Lea einem, welcher soll sein bekoer überzunehmen das Geschäft. True, Horowitz is not, he would certainly wants to get for Lea someone who will be able to take over the store, the business, aber sonst wird sein nötig, if this will be necessary. I'm sorry, I'm running out of air. This is it. Can someone continue?
Es ist gewesen warm und hat sich gefühlt mit. It was warm and he was tired. Als Stück weg von Weg hat bemerkt, wilden Feigen, it looks like a feigenbaum. A little distance away, he saw a wild fig tree. Does someone have a better note?
We missed, I think we skipped some text here.
Oh, where? Where?
Yes. Well, we were talking about how Horowitz would want somebody who could take over the business.
Is wie hat
Also
gesagt?
that's nötig, and after that we should start right there.
Oh,
After
okay.
nötig.
Thank you. Is wie hat gesagt, Maren? So it's the fact, the condition is, as he told Meir, and kann ich in dem Kampf von der Speis, Ederman versucht es, you cannot know the taste of food or before you try it. Es ist gewesen warm, und hat sich gefühlt mit. It was warm and he was tired. Ein Stück weg von weg hat bemerkt, wilden, I think it's Feigenbaum there, but it's cut off. A little distance away, he saw a wild fig tree. Der Baum ist gestanden, oh, does someone have the original? Because the
Eingeheukert.
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 Oh, the tree was bent over, hunchback like. Die Zweigen ausgebogen of the branches were bent off. I can't see that. Is it off a roof?
Auf a roof. Auf a roof.
They were bent upwards, wie die Knie von einer sitzendicken, wie die Knie von einer sitzendicken Menschen, like the knees of someone who was sitting down, und unter den Bäumen, under the tree, auf a klein Stickel Gras, on a small piece of grass, is gelegen a Schotten, and there was a shadow lying on the grass. Lippmann is weg in jener Richtung. Lippmann went away in that direction. Hat sich zugesetzt, ausgetrunken dem Hut und abgewischt dem verschwitzten Stern. He sat down, took off his hat and wiped off his sweaty forehead. Hat sich ausgezogen auf dem Gras. He stretched out on the grass und tief reingeatmet die etwas killer Luft and deeply breathed in the somewhat cool air. Auf die arumike Felder ist gewesen Leben und Bewegung. On the surrounding fields there was life and movement. Sorry, I'm losing it again here. There, you've got it. Okay. Nicht willendig ist Meyer ihm gekommen auf den Sinnen. Unwillingly, Meyer came into his thinking. A stiller, a quiet one, aber zu derselben Zeit ein einsamer Leben, but at the same time a lonely life. Hat bedeuert Meyer, and he felt sorry for Meyer. Und in welchem Prat ist sein Lippmannswelt und Leben räuschiger und gesellschaftlicher. And in what condition is his Lippmann's world and life more active and more sociable? In der Stillkeit, was herrscht darum in is voran leben. In the quietness that surrounds Meyer, there is life, Tätigkeit, activity, Aktivität und Kreatia, activity, and I assume he means creativity, but I've never come across that word before. Jacob, any thoughts?
Yeah, creativity.
Creativity, okay. I've just never seen that word before. Was schafft What does he create? Lippmann, what does Lippmann create? Die Ruhe und Stillkeit, in welcher befindet sich, the quiet and the rest in which he finds himself, is die Stillkeit vom Tod, is the quietness of death, nirvana, monotony, Pust, emptiness, vacuity, ziellos, aimlessness, inhaltlos, and emptiness, no content. Emmers, ist keinmal nicht gewesen, geloten mit kein größere Idealen oder Strebungen. In truth, he was never overfilled with any great ideals or strivings. Zu sein ehrlich zu sich allein muss müde sein. Sein Hauptstreben ist gewesen materialistischer. And to be with himself, honest with himself, he must admit that his main striving was a materialistic one. Hagam is gewesen ungeschlossen zum Selbstschutz und hat ein paar Mal geholfen, überschmuggeln verbotene Literatur über den Grenz. Although he was involved, he was connected with self protection and a few times helped to smuggle forbidden literature over the border. Aber euch hinter auch der Tätigkeit hat gesteckt ein persönlicher und egoistischer Motiv. But even behind this activity, there was hiding a personal and egoistic motive. Ein paar Buschlers haben rumspaziert über das zerkehrten Feld. I'm not sure what a bushless is. I assume it's an ostrich, but
No, a stork.
oh, a few storks. Thank you. A few storks wandered across. Oh, we're lost again.
It's
Masha, go back.
Feld.
A few.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, there we are. A few storks were wandering across the plowed field, genischt zwischen aufgekehrte Stücke Erde, and were seeking among turned over pieces of earth, sich getonne halb auf und haben sich herabgelassen am Halach hinter Libanon. They lifted themselves up and came down a distance behind Lippmann. Hat sich aufgesetzt, so he set up. Der Plan, wie soll herumzugehen, zu gewinnen lernen, ist alles fertig geworden bei ihm in Moach. The plan of how to go about winning Leah was complete. He had completed the plan in his mind. Wird lang nicht warten. He will not wait very long. Leah sitzt in Johannesburg. Leah is now in Johannesburg by her tante with her aunt. Unter der Zeit wird probieren der gehen, was Frau Hurwitz hat in Sinnen mit Koch Leah die Aussichten paraschiedach für ihr. And in the meantime, he will try to find out from Mrs. Hurwitz what she has in mind planning for Leah, her prospects and the prospects for a wedding with her, match with her. Okay, thanks.
Okay. So, was hat aber bewegt mehreren zu werden Schatten, but what got Meyer to think about matchmaking, women's teuver oder efsche roa is der mit Oisten, whose benefit, or perhaps the opposite of benefit, did Meyer have in mind? Gicher Leah's teuver. It surely must have been Leah's benefit. Ken sie a längere Zeit. He knew her for a longer time. Wird Meyer Takke gassene haben mit der Burenmädel? Would Meyer actually get married to the young, farmer's woman? Liebmann hat sie gesehen bloß für a paar Mal. He, Lippmann, had only seen her a few times, Ashena, but she was good looking. Doch a jiddischer Bocher gelernt in a yeshiva. Nevertheless, Meir was a young Jewish man who had studied in the yeshivas. Wer kon es reindringen in jenems neshama? Who can penetrate into somebody else's mind? Kremerei hat ihm nicht befriedigt. Shopkeeping didn't satisfy him. Geworden a farmer, so he became a farmer. Avec zu der Natur, and he delved into nature. Meir ist sicher geblieben unter den Eindruck, als Liebmann, will sich verkaufen für Geld. Meir was surely under the impression that Lippmann was prepared to sell, to go after the money, to sell himself for money. Nein, nicht das. Will nur ausbessern sein materielle Lage. No, that wasn't the case. He just wanted to improve his material situation. Begeht a Verbrechen damit? So is this a crime? Schmat sich damit? Is he converting because of this? Verliert durch dem sein Gewissen und Ehrlichkeit? Does he lose through this his conscience and his honesty? Is es ärger wie wären a Gabe in a Beschmedres, sie in a Talmud Torah zu lieb Covid? Is it worse than becoming a committee member in a study house, or becoming a teacher in the Talmud Torah because of respect? Menschen nehmen auf a Phrase und keines so lang, bis es wird kümmert a Heiligkeit. People take on a phrase and they chew it for so long that it becomes almost a Heiligkeit. It becomes a holy thing. Sich verkaufen für Geld, to sell oneself for money. Die größte Avles und Verbrechens werden täglich begangen für Geld. The greatest injustices and crimes are committed daily because of money. In Geschäft, in Politik, aber man macht nicht kein Tummel darüber. This is in business, in politics, but one doesn't make a fuss about this. Lippmann, wird sich nicht verkaufen für Geld. He, Lippmann, would not sell himself on behalf of money. Wird das Geld, ob wird es, wenn Vermögen, ausnutzen zu der Heben und auszubessern sich. He would use the money if he would if he would get it, he would use it to raise himself up and to improve himself. Kapitel 35. Die Zeit ist gekommen, als nicht Afrikaner sollen nicht zugelassen werden zu regieren durch Afrika. Ein Attribut, was ist nötig, gedei das Land soll progressieren. So the time has come that non-Africans, in other words, whites, should no, it's that non-Africans, not Africa, not I think that what he's saying here is non-Europeans should not be allowed to rule South Africa. An attribute which is necessary in order that the country should progress. Imperialism, voor mir, is niet goed zolang wie es dient in die interessen van Afrika. Imperialism, as far as I'm concerned, is good as long as it serves the interests of South Africa, of the country. Ob Imperialism is gegen die Interessen von Afrika, dann bin ich ein Gegner von Imperialism. If imperialism goes against the interests of South Africa, then I am opposed to imperialism.
Yes, 1 minute. Sorry, Yaakov, I think Niet Africa here is referring to Uitlanders, to people to whites who are not born in South Africa. It's got nothing to do with white and black.
Yes, I think, yes, you're quite right. Yeah, thank you, Moshe, you're quite right. Die dosige Werte hat gesagt General Herzog, Justizminister von der ersten Vereinigten Regierung. These words were said by General Herzog, the Justice Minister of the first Union Government, kurz nach der Vereinigung von alle 4 Provinzen, Union. He said this shortly after the union of all the 4 provinces of South Africa, which in the Union. That was the Cape Province, Natal, the Orange Free State, and the Transvaal. These were the 4 provinces that came together when South Africa was declared a union by the British government in 1910. Die Zeitungen haben vor der dosige Erklärung abgegeben, die Frontseiten und es gedruckt mit größer Aussies und dreifachige Kepler. The newspapers presented this declaration on the front pages, and they printed them with large letters and dreifachige Kepler. I think I'm not sure what this means, but I think it's like emphasized headline, an emphasized headline.
Could it be three
Perhaps somebody
dimensional?
They were
a
three
better
times bigger.
translation.
They were 3 times bigger than usual. Dreifachig, triple the size.
Triple the size.
The headline
Headlines.
and the Keppel is the headline. Yeah.
Ja. Herzogs dosige Wärter hat geplatzt über ein Land wie eine mächtige Bombe und hat zerstürmt die Gemüter von der ganzen Bevölkerung im Land. These words of Herzog exploded over the whole country in like a huge bomb, and they let loose the spirit of the whole population in the country. It's der englische Teil von der Bevölkerung, was hat sich betracht von Balabos von Land, the English portion of the population, which considered itself as the ruler of the country, hat geteinet, als das seinen doch revolutionäre Diburim. They claimed that these words were revolutionary. It was revolutionary talk. Und das redt ein Minister, was hat geschworen zu sein getreu zu dem englischen Thron. And these words were spoken by a minister who had sworn to be faithful to the English crown. In Ministerien Kabinet hat sich getan Cheuschech. In the cabinet of the cabinet ministers, this it caused darkness. It was a very difficult situation because it sort of tore them apart. Ein englischer Kabinettsminister und die ganze englische Presse haben gefordert, als Botha, der Premierminister, soll zwingen General Herzogin zu resignieren. An English cabinet minister and the whole of the English press in the country demanded that Botha, who was the prime minister, should force General Herzog to resign. Perhaps I'll just read the last paragraph because it brings us to the end of the page. Herzog hat nicht resigniert. Herzog did not resign. Der Premier hat voneinander gelassen sein Kabinett. The Prime Minister dissolved his cabinet und allein euch resigniert, and he himself resigned. Man hat ihm, General Botha, beauftragt, zusammenzustellen an neuem Kabinett. They agitated that General Botha should create a new cabinet. He should get a new cabinet. Hat in einem neuen Kabinett Herzogin nicht reingenommen. He didn't include Herzog in his new cabinet. Okay.